Have you ever wondered why some men seem trapped in a permanent state of struggle while others remain unshakable in the face of chaos? It isn't about IQ, it is about wisdom. Stoicism teaches us that there are 7 specific phrases, verbal red flags that signal a weak mind and a fragile spirit. If you catch yourself saying even one of these, you are unknowingly sabotaging your own power. Today we expose these silent killers and replace them with unbreakable truth. If you are ready to leave the path of the fool and walk the path of the sage, subscribe now. Let the transformation begin. The first mark of the foolish man is the refusal to accept ownership. When the stupid man faces a crisis, his first instinct is to look outward. He says, "It's not my fault. The economy is bad. My boss is unfair." By blaming the world, he voluntarily hands the keys to his happiness to strangers and circumstances. Epictetus taught us that there are things in our control and things out of our control. Consider the story of the 2 captains navigating a storm. The foolish captain screams at the wind and abandons the wheel to shake his fist at the sky. The wise captain looks at the same storm and says nothing. He knows the storm does not care about his opinion. He grips the wheel tighter and focuses only on what he can do steer. When you say, "It's not my fault," you are the captain screaming at the wind. A Stoic understands that while the event might not be your fault, the response is always your responsibility. As long as you are busy pointing fingers, your hands are too busy to build a solution. The second and perhaps most dangerous lie, "He made me lose my temper." This phrase implies that your emotional state is a remote control device, and everyone around you holds a remote. The foolish man is a puppet jerked around by the strings of other people's behavior. Seneca famously said, "Anger is a temporary madness," describing it not as a sign of strength, but as a collapse of reason. Imagine a man walking through a crowded market. Someone bumps into him hard. He spins around furious, ready to fight. Then he looks down and sees that the person who bumped him is blind and uses a cane. Instantly, his anger vanishes, replaced by compassion. The physical event was the same. The only thing that changed was his judgment of the event. The stranger didn't make him angry. His opinion of the stranger made him angry. A Stoic realizes that an insult is like a rock thrown at a cliff. If the cliff is solid, the rock simply bounces off. If you are easily provoked, you are easily controlled. Do not give anyone that power over you. The third lie, "I'll be happy when I get that promotion or when I buy that house." The foolish man treats the present moment as a waiting room, a mere obstacle to get through to reach some imaginary paradise. By tying his happiness to future events that may never happen, he guarantees misery in the now. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily to find contentment in the present, understanding that the future is a mist and the present is the only reality we possess. There is a parable of a wealthy businessman who asks a resting fisherman why he doesn't build a fleet to eventually retire by the ocean. The fisherman smiles and says, "Sir, what do you think I am doing right now?" The stupid man runs on a treadmill chasing a horizon he can never catch. If you cannot find peace in who you are today, you will not find it with $1 million tomorrow. Stop waiting to live. The fourth phrase is the cry of a man who believes the universe owes him comfort. Why is this happening to me? When tragedy strikes, the foolish man views hardship as an injustice and resists reality. This resistance turns inevitable pain into optional misery. The The Stoic embraces amor fati, a love of fate. He sees every obstacle not as a block in the path, but as the path itself. Imagine you are a wrestler. If your coach pairs you with a weak opponent, you remain weak. But if your coach pairs you with a giant champion who throws you around the mat, you sweat and you bleed. The foolish man asks, "Why does the coach hate me?" The wise man understands the coach is trying to make him a champion. Life is that coach. Wishing for a life of ease is wishing for a life of decay. When the fire burns, everything you throw into it becomes fuel. A stupid man is extinguished by the wind. A Stoic is the fire that burns brighter because of it. Stop asking, "Why me?" and start asking, "What can I learn from this?" The fifth phrase is the tombstone of intelligence. I know that already. The foolish man protects his ego by pretending to be an expert. He listens to reply, not to understand. Epictetus famously said, "It is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows." There is a Zen story of a scholar who visited a master. As the master served tea, he kept pouring until the tea overflowed. The scholar shouted, "Stop, the cup is full." The master replied, "Like this cup, you are full of your own opinions. How can I show you wisdom unless you first empty your cup?" The stupid man walks through life with a full cup, terrified to admit he is wrong. The Stoic cultivates the mind of a student, willing to look foolish in the short term to become wise in the long term. True wisdom lies in admitting the vastness of what you do not know. The sixth lie, "I'm too busy. I don't have time." The foolish man wears his busyness like a badge of honor, mistaking movement for progress. But "I don't have time" is usually a lie. What he really means is, it is not a priority. He has time to scroll on his phone for 2 hours, but no time to meditate for 10 minutes. Seneca observed that men guard their money greedily, yet they let everyone steal their time. Imagine you have a bank account that deposits $86,400 every morning, but at the end of the day, whatever you haven't used is deleted. You would spend every cent, wouldn't you? That is your life. You get 86,400 seconds every day. The foolish man lets them drain away, while the Stoic ruthlessly cuts out the non-essential. When a man says he doesn't have time to improve himself, he is saying he is too busy driving to stop for gas. Eventually he will break down. The seventh phrase is the ultimate cage. What will people think? The foolish man lives his life for an audience that isn't watching. He buys things he doesn't need with money. He doesn't have to impress people he doesn't like. Marcus Aurelius wondered how it is that every man loves himself more than all the rest of men, but yet sets less value on his own opinion of himself than on the opinion of others. Think of an actor on a stage. If he spends the whole play looking at the audience to see if they are clapping, he will forget his lines and ruin the performance. The stupid man is the actor looking at the crowd, changing his personality like a chameleon to fit in. The Stoic stands firm, valuing his own conscience above his reputation. Reputation is just what people think you are. Character is who you actually are. If you seek the approval of others, you give them the power to destroy you with a single criticism. Break the chains. These 7 phrases, blaming others, claiming anger, postponing happiness, rejecting fate, feigning knowledge, wasting time, and fearing opinion, are the walls of a prison you built for yourself. But the door is unlocked. You can walk out at any moment. Stoicism isn't about suppressing emotion, it's about suppressing stupidity. Catch yourself the next time these words try to leave your mouth. Swallow them. Replace them with responsibility, gratitude, and action. Subscribe specifically if you want to master your mind while others lose theirs. The choice is yours.